Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Avalanche, seeing what's going on. We're going to make sense of this mess here, of course. I know it seems pretty convoluted, but there's good purpose, of course, with all these trend lines that we're drawing out and helping understand generally what's going to happen next. So if you're new to the channel, keep in mind, I love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something today. And what we want to do is kind of look at a few key factors on the back end while we get this to load. I do want to kind of say that I'm super thankful for my community. Thank you again for being awesome parts of my life. And just get some awesome feedback there, and it's just really cool to be able to kind of share in that success with you too, with a lot of those trade signals we've been taking a lot of profit here recently. So again, congrats to our community members. We'll probably have a couple more signals here today, and just so you know too as well, tomorrow and Monday, of course, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you'll see a lot less content. So I hope you understand that, and I hope you do take some time away from the charts and spend some time with your family. That being said, let's go ahead and look at the back end data here. So this is the liquidation data here for Avalanche. And what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about how heavy the concentration is there at about $43. That's a pretty significant amount of liquidation just below the price action. So keep in mind that could be a target for the whales. It doesn't mean the price cannot go up because there's less liquidation above the price. It just means there's, I guess you could say, less incentive, or in this case, you know, we might see more of a concentration first before that level swept. There's a handful of things that could happen, but liquidation is good to understand, just kind of to put in the back of your mind that it's like a motivating factor for the whales to just manipulate the market. Really, it's just what it is. That's all. It's an easy way to understand it. All right, so daily time frame. Let's work our way down and kind of go from there. So we talked yesterday about closing in a doji candle being disadvantageous, so we want to close above $45. We technically did that, but today so far we're under. Not a huge deal, but still something we got to recognize that we are kind of losing this short-term trend line. Okay, we'll talk about that on smaller time frames when we have our moving averages pulled out for that. Large time frames really is nothing significantly bearish here. We are diverging on stochastic RSI. That is definitely a sign that the price action is getting weaker, and we could see a pullback. You can also see here the MACD is losing momentum and starting to subside. So we got a divergence on the horizon, and we're kind of already diverging with stochastic RSI, very, very close to it. That tells us that a shift in momentum is occurring and or will happen soon. So you could just say the last 2 days of trading with this extreme volatility is part of that, but we could also argue that the price could come down lower. If so, 43 and or 38 would be the areas we want to pay attention to. Okay, those were previous significant levels that we had on the charts from before, and we also want to kind of talk about the 4-hour time frame and see what that means. But generally speaking, daily time frame is starting to shift gears. We haven't lost moving averages yet, but our oscillators are telling us we're on our way down. Okay, that's pretty common, very, very common. We take a look at the larger picture here. If we take a look at Elliott Wave again, this is likely the start of our ABC pattern. Hypothetically, the top for Avalanche was that $49 is a round number, and if that is the case, we should establish a lower low. Sorry, 2 lower lows and a lower high, right? So it should be something along these lines here for us as a potential reality, okay? So just be mindful, if the price comes up here and doesn't invalidate this Elliott Wave here and essentially stops right in this range of about $46, there's a decent chance we could see the price continue lower. It may even continue lower now, we don't know for sure. But again, that's kind of par for the course with situations like this with coins that are, have been treading water at this high level for so long. Having said that, let's look at the moving average convergence divergence on the 4-hour time frame, still diverging, of course, picking up some momentum there. So we do not want to, it's typically best practice not to just take a long ride into that, okay? Same thing with stochastic RSI swinging down, okay? If it swings down and, they kind of get this crossover, the next time that this swings up, that's when we want to consider entry, right? It's that second stochastic swing in whichever direction is most impactful. We're only at our first here so far, so I'm not super sold the price is going to increase or decrease from here. It's kind of just doing that range-bound activity, which is exactly what Bitcoin is doing too. So it's not a bad thing. I don't love that the money inflow index is coming down though. This is typically not great, but it can be good in the big picture. In other words, if the money flow index keeps coming down closer to 30, and just say the RSI hangs out right here, that's a good consideration for entry. Okay, because again, what that's telling us is roughly, because this is about a 3-day indicator here, if you will. It's basically it's a 14 candlestick lag, basically telling us in the last 14 candles that a lot less money is in the market right now than it was 14 candles ago. To translate, that's usually about 3 trading days, which is equivalent to 72 hours. And if money's only been flowing out of this coin for a full 72 hours, that's typically the opposite of a full extension on TD sequential, right? That's a 9 on TDS. So hypothetically, the price will recover because of that. anyways, that's just little things that I look for. We're not seeing that right now, so a little definitely premature, but if it does come to that, then that would be a good indication of a long. We're not there yet, though. Okay, so we're not in any situation right now where it's indicating we want to take a long position confidently. Okay, taking a look at the hourly, let's quickly note a few things here. Of course, we got some fair value up here, upwards about $48. That could get filled. It's kind of a wild card, though. Sometimes, a lot of times, fair value gaps get wicked into and out of. They're partially filled often. They're not quite like a liquidity, whereas we got this full candle of value. It's treated a little different. Okay, so I'm not super concerned with that, but that is a possible area in which the price could wake up to and pull back. So again, if it comes up to that level, it may be a decent shorting opportunity. Hate to even propose that right now because those are fighting words. But 40, short between 48 and 49 might have more success than a short right now. Okay, that's if it comes up to that level. We don't even know. This could continue lower at this point. So talking about a few important things. First of all, TD sequential, we have no overextension here. Price is mostly going sideways within this range. Low range 43.50, upper range 46. If we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we can see that we are now below the cloud. Excuse me. No, we're now below the cloud on Ichimoku cloud. Okay, what does that mean for us? Well, it implies we have a resistance above us is really what it tells us. It doesn't mean it's like, you can't take a long or a short at this point. It just implies that we want to be patient and wait for a better opportunity. Okay, because lagging spans within the price action just kind of tells us we've been range bound for too long, as well as the simple fact that we can see the conversion line above the baseline. So that's positive momentum to the upside, but we haven't broken free for the cloud. So to me personally, a closure at 46 would be a better long position consideration than right now. Okay, because again, we don't have confirmation it's going to go any higher. We're also kind of stuck below this resistance here at about 45.35. So there's a handful of reasons to not take a trade right now. Okay, again, you're just kind of flipping a coin if you take a trade with Avalanche for the moment. To me, I'm going to look for two things. I'm going to be looking for a closure above the cloud, preferably in the $46 or higher range, or also potentially consider a short closer to the $49 range because this is proven to be a difficult resistance level. Once that upper level of liquidity is swept, then we could see the price action pull back. Okay, a lot of those things are not present, or a lot of things need to happen before we get there. Okay, so to me, take this with a grain of salt. The best way to take away, the conversation from today is that there are no good confirmational signs for either long or short. We have a lot of conflicting information on multiple time frames. That to me is not really a case in point where I want to take a position confidently, and I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait for this coin. Granted, I got like 5 other coins I'm looking to take a signal with here today as well, but I'm waiting for the right conditions to be met. I've got a lot of alerts set up, so it's just one of those things. I hope that makes sense and I described this correctly. If you want to make sense of this coin and trade with this coin on a phenomenal exchange, be sure to check out Bitunix again. Fantastic exchange, no KYC, no VPN. Most of our BingX and Bitget users are coming over to this because of the fact that there's no VPN KYC. They have trailing stop losses, multiple profit targets. A lot of cool things. I do have walkthroughs on our Discord if you're curious. That is available in our Bitunix section, but generally speaking, all is well and good with that exchange. Be sure to check them out if you're curious. Thanks again for watching, though. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.